I'm an RV tech and I go undercover often to look at RVs and bring you reviews from a technician point of view. Today's footage is actually from one of my undercover agents, Max Payne, and it's a fun RV. This is a 2023 model year Black Series HQ21 off-road travel trailer. Folks, there's some interesting things you need to know about components that you can't really have serviced on these. Brief history of the company Black Series. This was an Australian company that was then acquired by a Chinese investor who then changed all the manufacturing to China and now exports these Chinese-made RVs to America. There's actually been a controversial history with this company. They were being represented by a major off-road RV dealership in America who discontinued the brand because of many, many reasons. So, what do I think about the quality and should you buy one? Let's take a look. For the water heater on this RV, they stupidly have a tankless type Fogatti brand water heater. Tankless is bad for boondocking because you can't conserve water. If you're starting and stopping the water flow a lot, you get cold spots in it. If you want to know more about what's going to be a good appliance for you in your camping style, go check out my free quiz on my website. For the air conditioner, they chose one of my favorite, which is a Dometic brand Penguin low profile air conditioner. Dometic is one of the brands I've had to replace the least of anything. I give this 10 out of 10 points. So another thing I like about this camper is that it looks to have a fiberglass roof. Membrane type roofs are prone to getting holes poked by branches, where fiberglass roofs are going to be more durable. I would give the roof 10 out of 10 points. Another fun feature of this RV is the massive Renogy brand lithium battery bank and inverter that it has. This energy system and solar panel makes this ideal for boondocking because you don't have to run a generator as much. On the refrigerator, we've got a Dometic gas absorption type, which honestly this is really great for boondocking because it's very low electrical requirements. I give the refrigerator 10 out of 10 points. Now, the cabinet construction on this, oddly, is something I've never seen in the American market. Let me know in the comments if you have a Black Series and if you have seen any problems with the type of construction for their cabinets. Without any reason to hate this yet, I'm going to give these cabinets 10 out of 10 points. The countertops in this Black Series appear to be a typical Formica. I give this type of countertop 5 out of 10 points. If you want to be able to tell the difference between high quality countertops that will last and the cheap imitation, you should check out my RV shopping course. My RV shopping course covers the quality of all the major components and includes a mobile web app you can use to grade RVs just like I'm doing in today's review. This also includes a database of over 600 RVs that either I or my undercover shoppers have graded. Given that there's no slide outs on this RV, I give the slide system category 10 out of 10 points. You're not going to have a slide break. Another feature to note is this RV has all acrylic windows, which is dual pane and energy efficient, but unfortunately, because it's plastic, over time, this is going to suffer ultraviolet damage and the plastic will need to be buffed in order to be clear again, which you can do, but it's not as easy as just cleaning a glass window. Now let's talk about the frame and suspension components, and this is where it gets really interesting. These Black Series trailers have a really cool independent suspension, and this is great for off-roading because it gives you more clearance. Your axle isn't going to hit a rock as you're going down the trail. There are 4 wheels on this trailer. Each one can travel up and down independently, and best feature of all, it's got dual shock absorbers on each wheel. If a shock absorber gets too hot, it ceases to function. So by having dual shock absorbers, it actually spreads out the force and they don't heat up as much. So dual shocks is going to be good if you're doing some serious off-road driving. Here's the rub. In researching issues people have had with this trailer, when they burn up a wheel bearing and the spindle is shot and they need to replace that whole trailing arm. It has to be shipped here from overseas. You may run into shops that say, oh, we can't work on that because we're not a Black Series dealer or blah, blah, blah. RV shops are often so busy that they don't have time to go and learn about new systems or figure out innovative ways to handle breakages like this custom trailing arm if the spindle gets messed up. So that's a big problem. Now there's 2 things you can do about this. First, don't let a wheel bearing get burnt up. You need to actually maintain your wheel bearings properly. Now here's the second thing you can do. If I was the technician who was working on this trailer, I would not wait for parts parts to come from China. I would remove the whole assembly and go to a local welding shop, a metal fabricator. They should be able to build an entire trailing arm assembly if needed. Chances are they can cut out the spindle and weld in a new spindle, paint it up, and you'll be back in business. So would I buy an RV with this type of suspension? Heck yeah, it's pretty cool. So 10 out of 10 for the frame and suspension. Now for the plumbing. I actually did not see any bad plumbing in this RV, and I actually like how lines that are exposed underneath the camper are very well insulated. So I'm giving this 10 out of 10 points for the plumbing system. So the interesting thing about this RV is I actually like the components that I see selected. The flip side, and the place where you really need to do your research, is that some brands are not very well supported, especially if it is a imported RV like this. Customer service is only going to be as good as the company behind it. So make sure you do some research about the experience of other Black Series owners before deciding to buy this RV. In this case, it's a used RV and you're not going to get a warranty with it. So you're going to be paying for everything out of pocket. Click here if you want to watch me go undercover to review more travel trailer RVs. Or click here if you want to learn more dirty secrets about the RV industry, including my recent video, which is Dirty Secrets of RV Inspections.